قیام و دادخواهی و فراخوان به حسابرسی از سران حکومت آخوندی. کمیته عدالت برای شهیدان قتل عام 67. اجلاس استماع جامعه مدنی. 1. کیفرخواست. 2. نظریه‌های متخصصان بین المللی. 3. گواهی زندانیان و شهود. 4. نتیجه گیری. ژنو، کلوپ ملی مطبوعات، اول فوریه 2018، 12 بهمن 1396.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start proceeding with our hearing about the 1988 massacre of political prisoners in Iran and the ongoing persecutions of the Iranian opposition. You are aware that we are talking about a massacre that happened 30 years ago. And the United Nations has repeatedly called on the government of Iran to undertake an independent investigation. But the calls of the United Nations have always fell on a deaf ear. The suspect perpetrators of the massacre of 1988 of allegedly over 30,000 victims has been a subject of recent revelations by actors who witnessed and were part of the system, and they have admitted the role they played in massacring the Iranian opposition. So far, no official investigation had taken place. And our hearing today comes in this context, that the government of Iran has categorically refused to cooperate with the United Nations and to undertake an investigation. And the recent events, the demonstrations that took place the weeks in January, are an evidence of the crime that took place. Civil society has found no alternative but to take its own investigation. And we are hoping that in our gathering today, the panel of experts will look at certain evidence that points out what happened during the summer of 1988 and what are the grievances of the families of the victims who for the last 30 years have been asking the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran to investigate, asking the government to give them information about their loved ones, asking the government to help them come to term with their griefs, but so far nothing happened. So today's panel will look at whatever evidence is available, and they will make recommendations in order to request that the special procedure of the United Nations, particularly the special rapporteur on the situation of human rights in the Islamic Republic of Iran, and other special rapporteurs concerned, particularly the rapporteur concerned with the torture. So our proceedings will be put in a form of appeal to these special procedures, to the High Commissioner of Human Rights, to appoint a commission of inquiry to act independently and to investigate the massacre and other crimes committed by the regime. Our panel is composed of independent expert lawyers. And by the end of the day, we will be able to have ready some recommendations requesting an independent commission of inquiry from the United Nations. Thank you for your attention.
Can I add my welcome to you all? I'm playing the role now of prosecutor because this is a case about crimes against humanity. There can be no doubt this is crimes against humanity. Article 7 of the Rome Statute sets out that crimes against humanity is a systematic attack against the civilian population. So systematic or widespread, and then you look at the underlying elements. Now here we have underlying elements of murder, torture, imprisonment or severe deprivation of physical liberty in violation of fundamental rules of international law, persecution against an identifiable group on political or religious grounds, enforced disappearances of persons, other inhumane acts intentionally causing great suffering or serious injury. We can add to that as well as been recognised the crime of rape. Fundamentally, crimes against humanity are inhumanity. There's that fundamental aspect, and they're the most serious crimes. And what happened in Iran in 1988 is the most serious of crimes. And we have evidence. We have evidence that we can examine, and I'm going to be calling before you some witnesses very shortly. Of course, for a crime against humanity, there must be knowledge of the perpetrator that he or she is contributing to a widespread attack. There's no difficulty here that that knowledge was there, because much of the evidence that we have and that the UN is being asked to act upon has emerged much more in recent years. That is why the case is ready now to move on to the next stage. July 1988, Iran's supreme leader, Khomeini, issued a fatwa. And he issued a fatwa ordering the execution of political prisoners, members, sympathizers of the People's Mojahedin Organization of Iran. Now, that fatwa, the wording of the fatwa itself is evidence, and it's important evidence. because what he said, no dispute about this, so this is one of those issues that doesn't need debating. It is decreed that those who are in prisons throughout the country and remain steadfast in their support for the monafekin, probably loosely translates as hypocrites, the mochedin, are waging war on God and are condemned to execution. Those who are making the decisions must not hesitate nor show any doubt or be concerned with the details. They must try to be most ferocious against the infidels. So where's the evidence here of crimes against humanity? First of all, we can see just from that one order that the order contains a direction that all those, irrespective of whatever potential defence they might have, all those who are affiliated to a particular group are to be condemned to execution. What about a trial? Well, the order is, don't concern yourself with details. So don't concern yourself with the evidence. The execution must occur, so no judicial process. What about the crime itself? This is a crime that would not be and is not within any legitimate national legislation because it's a belief crime. So the order is those who are to be executed are those who have beliefs or have loyalty to a particular grouping, the Mohadin. And in fact, the fatwa makes it extremely clear because it says, as the treacherous monafekin, Mohideen, do not believe in Islam, and what they say is out of deception and hypocrisy, therefore they should be condemned to death. So strong evidence, beliefs, speaking out of deception, hypocrisy, even if true, cannot be a crime, and certainly cannot be a crime justifying any judicial death penalty sentence. So even on the surface of the fatwa, it is really teeming with evidence of crimes against humanity. What evidence is there? Well, there are letters which are in existence. There have been many pronouncements from those who are alleged to be perpetrators, saying they would do it all again. So not only are the various letters and pronouncements not disputed, they are in fact embraced by those who are still in high positions of power in Iran. So we don't have the difficulty of needing to investigate what's a forgery here. We have letters, and also there was an audio tape which was released in August 2016, which was actually recording the discussions which were ongoing into the process of the executions that happened in 1988. So first of all, to the evidence of the letters. Well, even the Chief Justice at the time, who certainly was considered to be a hardliner, but even the Chief Justice at the time questioned the fatwa. And the response from the Supreme Leader to the questioning was as follows. So, more evidence. If the person at any stage or at any time maintains his or her support for the monafekin, Mohedin, the sentence is execution. So pausing there, it's very clear. Support for a belief, support for a political belief, support for an ideology, execution. He goes on in the letter. Annihilate the enemies of Islam immediately. Again, due process, trial, consideration of evidence, representation by lawyer, appeal system, nothing, immediately. And there's further emphasis in this evidence from this letter. Use whatever criterion that speeds up the implementation of the verdict. Now, all these executions were extremely quick. I'll come on to that, the nature of the killings, the inhumanity of the executions. But even that speed was not quick enough for the supreme leader. There was a direct order there, do whatever it takes to speed up this process. So certainly no room for appeal. I'll come on to the other letters, because many of you will be familiar with also letters from Montazeri, which were published. But his letters are prophetic, and his letters expose further the evidence of the crimes against humanity that were ongoing in 1988. So knowledge of being part of a widespread, systematic execution of people. Well, the audio tape, so this was released on the 9th of August 2016. It appeared on the internet. Again, there's absolutely no doubt that it's genuine. And it was from a discussion between those involved in these executions and the death commissions. And the discussion was on the 15th of August 1988. How were the executions carried out? Well, amnesty commissions were what they were called, but they very quickly became known as death commissions. And their name is chillingly telling. The hearings, such as they were, lasted, it seems from the evidence, around 2 or 3 minutes. And there's been many reports and much evidence of the questions that people were asked before these hearings. Essentially, they included a necessity to renounce loyalty to the Mujahideen. In fact, the death commissions came in 2 waves. There was the opposition grouping, first of all, the Mujahideen, and then there was another wave of death commissions to deal with the agnostics, the atheists, the apostates. Questions included the following. Are you willing to put a noose around the neck of an active member of the Monafekin? Are you willing to clear the minefields for the army of the Islamic Republic? Hesitation? Wrong answer? Or not convincing enough in an answer? So execution. If the person, there's evidence if the person used the word Mujahideen rather than Monafekin, execution. One of the Montazeri letters to the Supreme Leader, he challenged Khomeini. He said the following: whilst these people have been sentenced by our courts to prison terms, to execute them without due process and new charges against them is a complete disregard for all judicial standards. Many people who are charged with minor offences or are innocent are executed. So the knowledge, there can be no doubt that there was knowledge as to what was happening. This wasn't a spontaneous act of revenge or an ill-thought-out but deadly attack. It was planned, widespread, systematic, ongoing. And you will find within, many of you picked up, there's 2 reports on the 1988 massacre in Iran, which are a collation, not just reports, but they're also a collation of evidence. And within the second report, towards the back of the book, page 136, there are the mass graves. And more mass graves have been uncovered in recent years. Or maybe we'll go through, so there's one in Tehran. And maybe we'll go to the next, and the next. Next. Let's do another 2 more. And the next one. The other mass graves are collated, their coordinates are listed, they are evidenced, and they've been discovered at different times. People who go and visit the mass graves or try and evidence them also have been placed in danger and disappeared. This is an ongoing crime. Amnesty International only very recently was protesting against the destruction of forensic evidence, the bulldozing of one of the mass graves, and calling upon Iran to stop that bulldozing. Another reason to act now is the evidence is being shredded, being concreted over, being contaminated, being destroyed. And it's obviously being done deliberately. Well, why is it being done deliberately now if this all occurred in 1988? The perpetrators who are alleged to have carried out, been part of the crimes against humanity, again, are set out within your reports. And 60 names in total have been released publicly. And many of those names are in very high positions, not only in the executive and political office, but also in judicial office. And they're still in those high positions. So this isn't a crime against humanity whereby it can be considered in some way a faceless crime, where the exact identity of the perpetrators cannot be evidenced in order to bring charge, in order to arrest, in order to start a due process against them. The suspects are identified and they can be investigated. The second point here, why bother about 1988, is doesn't it matter for you, but doesn't it show how the past is still infecting the present? Is it a coincidence that Iran still is top of the world's leaderboard per capita in executions in the world? Is it any coincidence that after the protests in January 2018, we're already seeing the bodies of 10 of those protesters with the lines coming out of the Iranian state that they have either killed themselves in prison or were drug addicts and died through some drug addiction? Or in one case, there was a public pronouncement that the person so regretted his protest that he was driven to killing himself in prison. This is unacceptable, ongoing torture. And those thousands who remain in prison must still be at risk, which is one reason why we need to move quickly, urgently, even though we're now at a point 30 years on from 1988. There needs to be urgent movement now. Pur Mohammadi is now the advisor to the judiciary. Ali Razini is the head of the 41st branch of the Supreme Court. Mohammed Mogisi, there's much evidence of his direct involvement in the executions, including him physically escorting prisoners to the place of execution. He's president of the 28th branch of the Revolutionary Court. Hossein Ali Nahyan is head of the Supreme Disciplinary Court for Judges. So he's in the disciplinary branch of the judges, overseeing the judges. He's vice president of the Supreme Court. I'm going to move now to call some evidence. and I think the witnesses, some are here. So I'm going to ask them to speak to you directly and give evidence in a very brief outline about 1988. But before I do, I'm going to leave you with Montazeri's words from the audio tape released in August 2016. In my view, the biggest crime in the Islamic Republic, for which history will condemn us, has been committed at your hands. And they'll write your names as criminals in history. That is what he said in 1988. At this 30-year anniversary of this massacre, it is time that international law regains its teeth, its strength, and that an independent inquiry is set up to investigate this widespread, systematic, inhumane, barbaric, medieval crime against humanity. Thank you. Now, I'm looking to see if we have, first of all, I don't know if they're coming up to join. We have Mustafa Naderi, Sohreh Bihania, Yahya Shohei, Ramazan Musavi, Reza Shemirani. Thank you. Hossein Niakan.
My name is Mustafa Naderi. در 2 سال قبل از اعدام رژیم شروع کرد به جدا زندانیا، چه از روی حکمشون چه از روی موضع‌گیریشون، که من اون موقع در انفرادی بودم ولی به اصطلاح خبرها رو میگرفتیم چون ارتباطات ما تو زندان با مرس بود، با سلولای بغل. بعد از اون اعدام‌ها شروع شد. قبل از اعدام‌ها هم بارها و بارها گفته بودند که ما مسئله زندانی سیاسی رو حل میکنیم و نمیذاریم شماها زنده از اینجا بیرون برید. من خودم شاهد این بودم که بند 3 بالا زندان اوین در حدود 250 نفر بودن که هیچکی زنده نموند. بند 3 پایین هم در حدود 200 نفر بودم که از اونها 2 نفر زنده موندن. من خودم تو انفرادی بودم که اون موقع زمان اعداما نفراتو میبردن دادگاه و بعد میبردن در انفرادی. انفرادی ها در حدود 500-600 تا سلول انفرادی بود که از به اصطلاح تمام سلولا پر بود و کسایی که میبردن اعدام وسایل شخصیشون یه ساک پشت در سلولا بود که 1-2 بار منو که برای بازجویی بردن، چون من اون موقع زیر بازجویی بودم دادگاه نبرده بودن یا اومده بودن صدام بکنن که من به علت به اصطلاح خونریزی کلیه و بیهوشی جواب نداده بودم، نبرده بودم، چون اون زمان فرصت نبود که از روی اسم چیز کنن. زندانی‌ها رو با به اصطلاح بند به بند می‌بردن و تازه توی دادگاه اینجور که من بعداً شنیدم اسم طرف رو مثلا می‌پرسیدن، چون دادگاه‌ها روی حکم روی چیز نبود، روی جرایم نبود. بعد از اون منو تو سلول انفرادی بودم که 3 نفر از بچه‌هایی که من میشناختم از قبل به اسم یعقوب حسنی و عباس، یکی که عباس بود که فامیلیش یادم نیست، و مهدی بوسوقیان، اینا رو که بردن دیگه بر نگردوندن، اسلوب انفرادی که بودن بغل دست من. که بعد من چیزی که یادم بعد این که ما برگشتیم تو بند گفتن که من اونجا تازه فهمیدم که همه زندانیان رو اعدام کردم. که تقریبا از تمام زندان اوین که اینجوری که من آمار بنداشو مثلا به وسیله بچه‌های دیگه داشتم، در حدود 12,000 تا زندانی بوده بود که حد 250 نفر زنده مونده بوده. مرسی.
بونژور. در قتل عام زندانیان سیاسی در تابستان 1988 خواهر من زهرا بیژن‌یار پس از سپری کردن 7 سال زندان و تحمل شکنجه‌ها و بدرفتاری‌های مداوم به همراه بیش از 30,000 زندانی سیاسی عقیدتی دیگر اعدام شد. زهرا هنگام دستگیری 24 سال داشت، تازه ازدواج کرده بود و باردار بود، ولی زیر شکنجه نوزادش را از دست داد. زهرا مانند دیگر زندانیان سیاسی او هیچ وقت وکیلی برای دفاع از خود نداشت و به 10 سال زندان محکوم شد. او از اولین زندانیایی بود که به خانه‌های مخوف مسکونی برده شد. در یک فرصتی برایم گفت که مدت 6 ماهی که در این خانه‌های مسکونی بوده با یک پیراهن بود و روز را ندیده بود. پوستش در اثر ندیدن نور مانند شیشه شده بود. کف پاهاش گوشت اضافه آورده بود. دید چشمهایش روی 10 رسیده بود و بیشتر دندونهاش شکسته بود. ولی با همان جسم ضعیف و دردمندش همیشه در ملاقات‌ها با روی خندان می آمد و از ما می خواست که به آینده امیدوار باشیم. به 2 خانواده‌ای که کمک مالی می کرد همیشه از ما وضعیت آنها را جویا بود و می خواست که کمک به اونها ادامه پیدا کند. دقیقاً روز 28 تیر 1367 روز بعد از اعلام آتش بس بین ایران و عراق به ملاقاتش رفتم. این آخرین دیدار ما بود. بسیار نگران بود و می گفت اینها در حال تدارک چیزی هستند. ما رو جابجا کردند، گروه کردند و بعد با دست اشاره کرد که اینها همه ما را خواهند کشت. ولی متاسفانه من آن روز این را باور نکردم و به آزادیش امیدوار بودم. بعد ملاقات خانواده ها با زندانیان ممنوع شد و آنها در بیخبری و نگرانی مطلق قرار گرفتند. خبر قتل عام زندانیان سیاسی در تمام شهرهای ایران پیچیده شده بود و حدود 3 ماه تقریباً هر روز خانواده ها به در زندان ها مراجعه می کردند، ولی با خشونت و رفتار توهین‌آمیز مسئولان زندان روبرو می شدند. به یاد دارم یک روز خانمی که منزلش در اطراف زندان اوین بود نزد ما اومد و گفت تمام طول شب صدای تیرباران و فریاد ما میشنویم و همه رو دارن میکشن. ما خانه های ما را ترک کرده ایم. نمیتوانیم اینطور زندگی کنیم. فردی به نام کربلایی که در ورودی اوین بود با زشت‌ترین و بیرحمانه‌ترین جملات روح و روان خانواده ها را به درد می آورد. با جملاتی چون داریم خانه تکانی می کنیم یا خودشان و پرونده هایشان را با هم نابود کردیم. چه می خواهید؟ آن روزها کسی نمیخواست نمیتوانست باور کند قتل عام بیش از 30,000 زندانی سیاسی را در کمتر از 2 ماه در سراسر ایران. از مهر ماه 67 اکتبر 88 مسئولین زندان از طریق تماس تلفنی با خانواده ها تماس گرفتند و خبر اعدامشان را اعلام کردند و در همان هنگام گرفتن هر گونه مراسم عزاداری را ممنوع کردند. و خانواده ها هرگز ندانستند چرا و به چه دلیل عزیزانشان پس از سالیان در بند بودن و با داشتن حکم به یک باره اعدام شدند و حتی زندانیانی که مدت حکمشان تمام شده بود و میبایست آزاد میشدند. در مورد خواهر من زهرا، فردی به نام زمانی که از مسئولین اطلاعات در اوین بود، به شهادت دیگر همبندانش با تلاش تمام حکم اعدام او را به دست آورد. در شناسنامه خواهر من زهرا مانند دیگر زندانیان قتل عام شده نوشتند که او در خانه پدری فوت کرده است. ده‌ها هزار خانواده مانند خانواده من بعد از 29 سال هنوز نمی‌دانند در آن تابستان سیاه به عزیزانشان چه گذشت و چرا در چه زمانی آنها قتل عام شدند و محل دفن آنها کجاست. امروز اعضای هیئت‌های مرگ و دستوردهندگان و اجرا کنندگان آن در پست‌های کلیدی دولتی و در سیستم قضایی ایران دارای مقام‌های مهمی هستند و اعدام مخالفان را کماکان ادامه می‌دهند. خانواده‌های زندانیان قتل عام شده همواره با تهدید و اذیت و آزار روبرو هستند و هرگاه که جرأت کنند و از آنچه که بر فرزندانشان و عزیزانشان گذشته دادخواهی کنند، پاسخشان در زندان خواهد بود. امروز دیگر باید دنیا با خبر شود از آنچه که بر مردم ایران گذشته است و می‌گذرد. متشکرم.
پسر کوچیک من 16 سالش نشده بود. 5 مهر سال 60 اعدامش کردن. اون وقت ما فرار کردیم. از اون زمان دیگه ما فرار کردیم. این ورور بودیم دیگه. بعد دختر ما داشتیم که مؤثل بود، داشت درس می‌خوند. در 16 سالش بود. گذاشتیم پلو فامیلامون اومدیم. این دختر نه سیاسی بود نه هیچ کاری بود. به وسیله خانواده‌اش اینو دستگیر کردن. بعد 3 سال براش زندانی بریدن. 3 سالش تموم شده بود. بعد اونایی که زندان بودن میدونن کسی که میخواد به اصطلاح غرور زندانی بشکنه چه شکنجه‌ای باید بکنه دیگه. این بیچاره لطه پارش کرده بودن. بعد به اصطلاح زیر چیز دکتر بردن فلانش چیز کردم، گفتم برو خود بیرون معالجه کن، معالجه شخصی بکن. طوری بود که با دستا و با زانو راه میرفت. بعد در 3 سال بهش زندانی داده بودن. بعد در روز بهش اجازه دادن که بره معالجه بکنه. توی 10 روز 5 روزش رفته بود، 5 روز رفتن گرفتن آوردن اعدامش کردن. هیچی. این دختر من نسرین شجاعی بوده. بعد بچه خواهر من، پسر خواهر من به نام قربان، این زندانی بوده که زندانیش هم تمام شده بوده. باید آزاد می شده. یه ماه 2 ماه باید آزاد می شده. اینو آزاد نکردن، تو زندان نگرش داشتن، بعد اعدامش کردن. بعد پسر برادر من همینجور، مراد شجاعی، اینم زندانی بود، باید آزاد میشد. 3 سال برایش زندانی داده بودن، زندان آزاد نشد، همون تو اونجا قتل عامش کردن. بعد داماد برادرم علی طاهری، اینم 3 سال زندانی داشت، زندانیش تمام شده بود، آزادش کرده بودن به خونش. بعد از اینکه مثلا همین برنامه‌شون شروع شده بود، اومدن گرفتن بردن اعدامش کردن. تازه پور محمدی خودش تایید کرده، گفته که من حکم خدا رو اجرا کردم. خودش تایید کرده. دیگه دنبال چی میگردن؟ من حیفم میاد که سازمان ملل مونده پشت این یارو، مثلا فیلمی که آخوندهای مال 1000 سال پیش دارن بازی میکنن، این قبول کرده. مراد هم همین برنامه رو داشت. مراد شجاعی هم زندانیش تمام شد، 3 سال زندانی برده بودن، بعد بردن اعدامش کردن. قربان شجاعی هم همینطور، نسرین شجاعی هم همینطور، بعد علی طاهری هم همین برنامه رو داشت. یعنی اینا زندانیشون تمام شده بودن، بعد بردن اعدامشون کردن. وقتی هم اعدامشون کردن اصلا جسد بهشون تحویل ندادن. تازه برادر من که اونجا بوده میگفت که یه قبر نشون میدادن، بعد پول قبر رو میگرفتن از صاحب مرده. خب این جنایتی که الان شده واقعا نمیدونم کورتوگو، نمیدونم کجا، شیلی بود، اینا همه چی شده. باید حداقل اینو سازمان ملل چیز کنه، این دیگه اصلا شکی تو کار نیست. کجا اینو مشخصه که نماینده خدا هستن که بعد چیز خدا رو اجرا کنن. این رژیم الان یه باید دست فوندامنتالیسم، باید دست مثلا اتم و بمب اتم. خب حالا فتیلی دوتا هم تو دستشن. حالا سازمان ملل نمیدونم دنیا واسه نگاه میکنه که کی میخواد کارو بکنه و جلوش بگیرن دیگه. من یه نکته که خدمتتون عرض کنم که اولا 12 نفر از خانواده من اعدام کردن. 12 نفر. بعد این شکنجه ها رو من واقعا زبانم نمیگرده که بگم که دختر من چه شکنجه کردن. عجیبه واقعا. ولی اونایی که زندانی بودن میدونن کسی رو که بخوان غرورش بشکنن هر شکنجه‌ای بهش میکنن دیگه. این لطه‌پار بوده، با این با زانو راه میرفته. حالا چه بلایی به سرش اومدن لطه‌پارش کردن اون یه چیز دیگه است دیگه. بعد از زیر به اصطلاح معالجه‌اش در رفتن، گفتن که خود برو بیرون معالجه کن دیگه. فرستادنش بیرون، در روز معالجه کن، بعد برگرد. به معالجه هم نرسید بیچاره. تا بیاد به اصطلاح دکتر نوبت بگیره فلان بگیره اعدام شد دیگه. اومدن دوباره گرفتن بردن اعدامش کردن. شکنجه‌ای که یه زنی که شکنجه کنن مشخصه چه بلایی به سرش میبرن دیگه. وقت پسر خواهر من قربان اینو اینقدر شکنجه کرده بودن که حالا شکنجه‌اشو من نمیتونم توضیح بدم، تو زندان نبودم. ولی اونا که زندانی بودن میدونن چه شکنجه‌ای میکردن. اینا رو لطه‌پار میکردن. بعد پسر برادرم هم که مراد شجاعی است اونم همین برنامه رو داشته. اینا جوان بودن، اصلا سیاسی نبودن. به خاطر خانواده‌اش گرفتن اعدامشون کردن. حالا من تعجبم که سازمان ملل چطوری وایساده پشت آخوندها که هیچ منطقی ندارن.